It wouldn't be a video without Dan the man. He just came out, had a sandwich with Daddy, and now he's back to the quest, the hunt, non-stop to eradicate rodents. What are you looking for, Danny? What are you looking for? Danny, what are you looking for? Morning, everybody. Welcome back, Sawmill. My name's Bill. This is Pirate Solutions Forestry, and I am sitting on top of 33 1x10s that I have turned into shiplap for Paul Moskowski. Now, I quoted him the way that the inside of the shed worked out. It was going to need about somewhere around 350 board feet to cover. Now, that's not taking into consideration that it probably has a window and it has at least one door. So that was a little bit on the fat side. When Paul asked me my opinion about shrinkage, and I told him that I would shiplap them if I was doing it, and he asked me to shiplap them for him. So we're going to do that on a dado stack out in the driveway, just not today. I added on to the total because we're going to lose basically an inch of board with the shiplap. And I brought that total up to 400, and we are at 330. We have 33 here. We got 10 out of the last log. We got 20 out of the last log. We got 13 out of the first log, plus a bunch of 1x8s that I am not going to include. I'm going to give them uniform thickness. Just 1x10s is just going to be easier for those guys to deal with. I wouldn't mind getting a couple of different widths. I could just use them for like first row, last row, or something like that. I know it's going to need to be cut in around the ceiling probably. But regardless, we're just going to give them 1x10s. So I need a few more, 7 to be exact. I do have some boards that I need to edge, but not enough for the 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a log. And I pulled a log that has got some issues. This one's going to be tricky. And what we're going to do today, instead of me mapping out on the end of the log like I show you guys all the time, I'm going to cut this one by eye. There are a couple of challenges I'll take you over. I'm going to show you the white pine log that we have up on the sawmill right now, explain the challenges that go along with it, and see if we can turn this thing into a 10-inch cant. So we have a log here that's 12 feet long. It is 17 inches around on the small end. That 17 cants out to 70 and 49. So that is 119, 11.9. So it cants out on the small end at a 12-inch cant. So that would jump right out and say, oh, well, that's big enough for a 10-inch cant. This right here is going to be a problem. You see this big hollow right here. Nice straight fat down there. Nice straight fat down there with a funky hollow in the middle here. The only way that I see going about this is to make this top side flat. I'm going to try to get my 10 inches in this dimension because I think I can, right? So if I can get this side flat and then I can minimal flat. All right, so not working out from the center of the log on this one. We want to get a minimum 10-inch wide flat on the top of this log. That's going to move our square that would be in the center up this way. So then we can flip it over and we can set our width and hopefully get inside this enough to create us a big enough cant that we're going to mill down through in this direction. Actually, it will be from the other side, the side that's against the stops right now will end up being our top. But we will be milling it down through the log, which will be in this dimension if everything works out right. To be honest with you, this log is so funky. I know you could probably make some 4x4s out of it, or maybe a 6x6 or something like that, or an 8x8. But it's so funky that if I can make this work, that's a good payout for a junk log like this. It's perfect length. It's going to do exactly what we want if we can manage this hole right here. So I'm actually going to let you guys watch from behind, let you know what's going on in my mind, and let's see if we can saw this one out before lunch. All right, so let's get fired up here, and I'll take you through my thought process as I go, and if I screw it up, you'll get to see it. This is a weird log. Obviously, you've seen that, but this is weird in the case that I actually had to jack up the fat end a little bit to even out the top of this. So this cut is going to be real thin on the end, and it's going to be kind of fat in the middle. And hopefully we can get 10 inches wide. I'm just going to eyeball it. I know that the cut's somewhere around 18. We're running that same Stella cut band that we put on yesterday. Ooh. That's close. I don't know how it's going to clean up down the other end. There are some thin spots, low spots in the middle. All right, it's close. We might have to take a jacket cut after this, but I don't want to take off more than I have to right now, or I'm going to screw myself on my width. I need water. This log is a little dirty, but this Stella cut band, I think, will survive it. Right now, I'm wishing that I hadn't brought this end up. It measured out about right. This end's a little high. I'm actually going to let it down. The next cut will end up being a slab cut also. But I'm going to let it down because I didn't clean up right here. And it would have been really close on the 10. So we're going to actually pull the clamp back. We're going to let that end down, and we're going to take another slab cut off the top of this. We'll probably end up coming down a full inch anyway, but the only way I see to maybe save this thing, I've got to take the minimum off the top of this log that I can. Now, I don't care if this cut's parallel to that cut or anything. This is not a usable piece. So let's see where we are now. I think we were at 18. Well, that's not going to make a difference because I just dropped it. 17 is probably not going to be enough. I'm going to go to 16. Really, really, really close. I think I'm going to spin it up right now. Let's clean up this side and see what happens. That might give us some options. There's a little dip in this side. Dips all over this log, including the guy cutting it. See where we got to clean up to. It's going to be somewhere around 17 again. This is going to be a funky cut. It's probably going to look huge, but it's pretty low in the middle. So let's come and see what 17 looks like. Yeah, I think we're going to take it off right there and cross our fingers. Might need a jacket cut on this one too. I'm not getting any water. All right, we are going to need a jacket cut on this. It's not going to be a usable board. I'm just going to come like we did on the other side, right to 16. Take it there. Keep this one for lumber bunk building material. Now the big test here is if I'm 10 inches right here, I am. We are going to clean up. It would make it a teeny bit better if I took one more. Just trying to figure out if that's going to hose me. And I'm still going to get 9 out of it. Well, maybe 8 out of it. I think we leave it. I think we're good. We're 10 inches right, just basically to a teeny piece of wane that I can take off with the shiplap. And that would clean up with one more cut. Oh, it's only 9 here. All right, I'm going to take one more. This one will be a usable board, so we're going to drop 1 1/8 inches. So we were at 16, we're going to drop to 14 7/8. Take a 1 inch off it. That'll make a perfectly usable 1x8. Now we're clean. We're going to spin it up, set our width, and do a whittle job on the other side because we're so fat down there, so thin in the middle, it's going to be kind of a whittle job to get to 10. All right, so let's make a mark at 10 and see what we got above it. There's not going to be any more than that in the middle. I could just cut it at 10. If I have clearance to cut it at 10. I'm going to come up and split this in half. I'm going to come up to 12 and take it there. Split this top in half. It's going to look like a huge cut, but it's paper thin in the middle. Just trying to make it a little bit more manageable for me to be able to handle it. So it broke right in half. Firewood. I'm going to take a waste cut to get so I can take 1 1/8 inches. I should have added 1/8 there. So we're going to come down to 11 1/8 inches. We're going to cut there and then drop it, take it at 10, take a 1 inch board. That's a good example right there. When I draw my map on the end and I score my lines, keep coming up the inch and an eighth, inch and an eighth. If I had done that on this log, I wouldn't have had that waste board that I just cut, which is a 3/4 inch thick board that would be perfect for building lumber bunks and crap like that. So we're setting our width at 10. This one goes off into the someday construction material pile for me. This one can get edged. This one actually will make a 1x10. So we actually scored a board out of this. And now we'll flip it up, get on scale, mill it out. Now there are a lot of waves in this, so this might look like a thick cut, but I'm going to try to minimize what I have to do here. So that 4/4 at 11 and an eighth. Let's see what that looks like. It's close. Now we have a clean board on the bottom, so we're setting our 4/4 scale off the top, off the bunks. Sorry, we're going 4/4 scale off the bunks so that we end up with a 4/4 board on the bottom. There's going to be a waste board or two up on top here with Wayne. There's nothing I can do about it, but I have to drop on scale. So we'll start at 11 and 8. That will go in the firewood pile, and then we'll mill the rest of the way through it. I don't know if this is going to clean up down that end with the huge dip in the log down there. Got really, really close to cleaning up. There's one little piece of Wayne on it. It will be usable, I think, as a 1x10, probably at 8 feet long. And now we're going to cut down through it until we run out of clearance. We will get the boards that we needed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go dump my slab wood. I have to offload those boards. We're going to throw our 2 flitches up there to be edged. Edge them up against what's left. I'm only 5.5 high, I think, right now, so we can cut through the rest of it after that. So I'm going to go do that off camera, and we'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to try to make these both into 1x10s. I have to cut it because of this one on the back side to get it cleaned up on the top. It's got a little Wayne on the bottom too. I'm going to cut this at 12 and then flip these down, flip this one over, put them back up and cut it at 10. Keeping all these little 1x2s for bracing on Brian's pole barn. At least one's that, this one's probably, yeah, it'll work. When we put his pole barn up, we're going to need bracing for the posts. So I have a whole pile of them over there to use. All right, we'll get these off the mill and we'll finish cutting this thing. There is a teeny little bit of Wayne on this one on both sides, but it's definitely usable 1x10 here for around windows or doors or whatever. We'll shiplap it just like normal. This one came out nice and clean. And let's clamp this thing off and zip through it. That's all she wrote. So I think I got 5 on the other one. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. $120 log. That's not bad. Let's do an outro. So that worked out great. I think we're seeing just about the end of that, what I thought was a kind of sharp Stella cut band. I think that thing is just about starting to get to the point where if I pushed it too hard, it'd probably start throwing waves. That log was pretty knotty. And obviously we were going in and out of different widths and everything. And I think it did a remarkable job for that. It hasn't really start cutting a ragged edge on the outfeed side yet. It's just starting to now. I'm going to take that thing off, and I'm actually going to, for the first time in a long time, open up a new box of Stella cut bands for the stuff that I have to start milling next. We covered his board footage plus a few extra boards. Some of them have a little bit of wane on them, but like I was saying, the back wall and the front wall are both 16 foot. They're going to have to be staggered joints. So they're going to be cutting them up anyway. I'm sure there are doors and windows in this thing. He didn't give me indication of where they're at or what they're at. So they have enough wood here to cover the whole inside of the shed all the way up to the ceiling if there was nothing on the walls. And, I think just, we'll have to see how everything shiplaps out and all that. And they'll be able to kind of take their pick of best boards in the most visible spots, and in the chopped up spots, they'll be able to cut them down and use the other chunks. But that all went great. So now all I have to worry about now is getting my setup out in the driveway so I can run a dado stack and run these all through the table saw to put the shiplap on them. When I'm out in the field, I have router bits. I just do it right out in the field with router bits. But running it through the table saw will be a lot faster as long as I can get a day to do it. The weather's going to crap itself for a few days here. I'm actually going to get this mill cleaned up, pull that band off, grease everything, get the cover put on it, and see it. We're going to have to see about tomorrow. I'm not sure if tomorrow's going to work out or not. I'm not sure when the rain's coming. It sure looks like it's going to rain today. There's rain and snow north of us right now. It's going to get really cold tonight. I got one of my campwood bins 3/4 full, and the other one could use at least a couple of bucket loads of firewood in it. So I think what I'm going to relegate myself to today is cleaning up the rest of what I have lying around here and move some firewood in the house, because I have some in the house, but maybe 2 nights worth. Probably get a week's worth of firewood in the house. Cover up all my outside piles for this rain and take it from there. So I always appreciate the watch, guys. So can you do it without drawing yourself a little diagram on the end of the log? Absolutely you can. That particular log, we had to be a little bit careful with it. We almost messed it up. Especially on something that's that kind of crooked, it would be hard to map out. But really the way that I did it, by taking the least amount off the worst sides, that helped. That definitely helped by moving that cant up away from the crook and hoping that we could get the 10 inches out of it, which it worked out way better than I thought it was gonna. I mean, we got them definitely 7 perfectly clean boards and probably 3 with a little bit of wane. So as far as what I wanted, we definitely got what we wanted. just by doing it by eye, you know, and a tape measure. I mean, I don't know how, you know, some people are going to say, well, all you really need is the tape measure on the sawmill. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. If, you know, that you can't walk around and measure up to a, you know, a piece of bark and say, well, I have to clean this up at 13 inches, as opposed to just making a blind cut and hoping. Or if you had a laser, I guess a laser would work good. You know, you could line the laser up right at the edge of the bark and then go from there. So a laser would help. But then you're going to say, well, you don't need a tape measure. You just need the tape on the sawmill. I have a laser. So, well, okay, so I need a laser. So that would be great. Don't have the greatest place to mount it on the sawmill, but it certainly doesn't hurt me just having to go down and run a quick measurement to get through what I'm doing. We've got 3 black oak logs that we have to mill for Mike Trotto into, I think, 4/4 material. We have Josko Katapovich. We have to mill out his pitch pine and his cherry logs, but I have to get Josko here for the cherry logs. So I think we'll do the pitch pine for him first, and then I'll call him up and get him to come down when we cut the cherry for him, because we'll be grade sawing that however he wants it. And also, I got an order this morning for a 12-foot long by 18-inch wide shelf for a business that one of our friends is the general contractor on the job. And she came to us this morning. I picked out a spruce log out back that I think is going to cover what she wants. It's got to have one straight side, and then we got to make it as wide as we can. It looks like it's going to end up being somewhat tapered down to about 16 wide if we take it right out of the middle of the log at 12 feet long and 2 inches thick. So that's going to be a fun one to mill. There's going to be a lot of kind of figuring that goes into that. She wants a natural edge on the front and obviously a straight shot edge on the back. And we're going to give it to her as wide as we possibly can with a natural edge on the front and a straight side on the other side. That's it for now. I always appreciate the watch, guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you like what we do. If you don't like what we do, give us a thumbs down. Leave us a comment. The comments are great for the algorithm. It makes the algorithm believe that people want to watch what we do, so it suggests us more. So that does help out. If you need something from Norwood, go down into the description below. There's a Norwood affiliate link in there. That's my affiliate link. If you copy and paste that to your browser, it takes you right to Norwood's sell site, and you can run anything that I run on my mill. And all their specials are on there and all that stuff, but it just tells them that you kind of watch my video. And that's it. I got no Danny for you. He's in the house with Mommy. Mommy came home from her sick mom's house last night. Mom's feeling better. And Mommy is home now, so she's inside working, and Danny likes to stay in with her because he hasn't seen her in a couple days. And for me, I'll just get on to what's next. It's Pirate Solutions out.